It's considered the most influential book in history. An estimated 25 million copies of the Bible are still sold every year. Yet skepticism is on the rise. And in a recent poll, those questioning the Bible stands equal with those who believe the Bible. And 2/3 of the people, 48 and under, say that they're doubters. So what's behind the rising tide of this cynicism? We're going to ask our historian and author of A Doubter's Guide to the Bible, Dr. John Dickson. There's his book right there, something you might want to pick up. So thanks so much, Dr. Dickson, for being with us. Why did you write this book?
To try and give doubters an overview of the Bible that along the way addresses their quite serious doubts.
That's excellent. So what are some of these doubts that the majority of the people you talk to have?
Well, a lot of people say the Bible has been used as a tool of oppression and slavery and violence through the centuries. And indeed, I think part of the answer is yes, it has been used in this way. The interesting thing is that these are universals of human culture. You don't need the Bible to have war, violence and slavery. They were there in Greece and Rome before the Bible came along. The more interesting question, I think, is what has the Bible uniquely inspired in Western culture? And historians would generally agree that the Bible gave to Western culture its tradition of charity for the poor, love of enemy, human rights. These things didn't come from Greece and Rome. They came from the influence of the Bible.
Mm-hmm. You know, I hear a lot of people saying, well, you can't prove it. Did someone really get swallowed by a whale? Did Noah really build this ark? So what's your response to those skeptics?
Well, I think there's probably less evidence than the average devout Christian would hope for, but way more evidence than our average atheist friend would ever imagine, especially around the figure of Jesus. The study of the historical Jesus in serious universities, secular universities around the world, is a giant topic because the evidence is overwhelming and we can know an awful lot about him, and that includes the reports in the Gospels. I teach in 2 secular universities in Australia, and the Gospels are part of the historical texts that you have to study to understand this ancient figure.
Why? I hear this question a lot among my friends. Why is there so much bad? Why does God allow bad things to happen to good people? And there's so much evil and suffering in the world. You, in fact, dedicate a whole chapter in your book to this. What's your response to that?
Well, it's hard to respond, isn't it? I think the first is just to acknowledge that it's a real problem, and I think every thoughtful person is going to be asking this. The Bible does offer some explanation of the origin of evil, and it does offer a glorious picture of the resolution of evil. But the most important thing the Bible teaches about this problem is that uniquely, God in the Bible has entered into the world in Jesus, suffered injustice and injury and a final breath on the cross. And that means that the God we bring our doubts to, our questions, is a God who is near us, who loves us, who is tender, who has experienced pain himself. You know, when my 9-year-old girl grazes her knee and runs to me, her question isn't, "Oh, Daddy, what's the origin of evil?" She just wants to know that I've got her, that I'm tender, that I understand. Absolutely. And we have that picture of God in the Gospels.
Yeah, we do. Reminds me of the Footprints poem of God carrying us on the beach when we're going through our roughest times. Thank you so much. What a wonderful message it is. What a wonderful message, Dr. Dickson, on this Sunday morning. So many people are watching and getting ready for church this morning. Thank you for your perspective.